Welcome, it's World Book Day. Hooray!
Hooray!
Woo! So we've had great celebrations, we've had wonderful costumes, which at the moment you can't see. Star photograph, which will be published tomorrow probably. And we've got a special treat. We've had Anthony McGowan this morning, who went to the talk. Hands up. Good.
All of you 7 and 8. Not
Good.
you, not you.
Yes,
nine.
no,
Sorry.
good.
Was it good?
Was it good?
Yeah, it was
Yes.
pretty good. The only thing is we just had the talk with the year 8 instead of doing it individually.
I know, but I don't suppose it would have been that different. And he was very interactive, wasn't he? And there were some fabulous, really fabulous questions from the audience. So thank you for those. Yeah, absolutely. And he was really informative, particularly about his latest book, which has taken him 4 years to write, hasn't it? Because of so much research about Chernobyl, which is back in the news, sadly. Anyway, but another treat this afternoon, we are very, very lucky to have Jacob come in to talk to us about his book, Ice Apprentices. And Jacob is, for those of us who already are here at Severn High School, an alumni. So he did a lot of writing and reading in this very place. So
that computer just down there.
yeah,
He
The one
pointed
on the
out.
right hand side, there are
Not
two that
much
I would always
has
choose
changed.
between. So you see the printer, you see the one beyond it, and you see the one beyond that, those two.
There you are.
One of those two.
So, you can be a writer. Thank you, Jacob. We look forward to this very much.
Yes, well, it's actually great to speak to you guys. I'm very excited to be back. I had a wonderful tour. It's cool to see the school. It's a little bit different than when I was here, but a lot of it is quite the same. So I'm going to talk to you guys about Ice Apprentices and about the world and put you in that world and see what you think of it. First of all, a bit about me. So I'm Jacob North. Some things that I like. I love video games. Does anyone like video games here? Yeah, some? What video games do we play? What video games do you play?
Astrobot.
Astrobot. What's that about? It sounds like space robots.
It's on PlayStation.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Should I play it? But it's good. Why?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Hesitation.
there was a long pause there.
No, it's just because I'm not sure the age range. I don't think adults would like it because it's a bit boring if I was an adult.
so it's you don't think it's boring, but you think you would find it boring if you were an adult.
I don't think it's boring now, but I feel like lasers and jumping over things wouldn't appeal to me when I'm older.
Interesting.
Fair enough.
Some games I've played. So I love Pokemon. I'm not sure if any of you guys are into Pokemon. Elden Ring, if anyone knows it. What else? Horizon Zero Dawn. I love that series. Have you guys played Fortnite?
Yes.
No? Yes? I played one game of Fortnite, because someone made me, and I won, which means, and then I put the controller down, and I realised if I never played Fortnite again, I would technically be undefeated. So I am undefeated in Fortnite. That's how good I am. I love running and climbing. Anyone here like running or climbing, or both? Yeah? You do track? Nice. What distance do you mainly like, or just all of them?
25?
Yeah. I have no idea what that means.
25 metres.
Yeah.
That's a sprint.
Mini sprint.
That is quite a sprint.
Little sprint.
Mini little sprint.
Mini sprint.
Mini sprint.
I also love reading, and I'm going to get into some books that I love in a second, but what are some books that you guys love or have read recently? Yeah.
To Kill a Mockingbird and Lord of the Rings.
Wow. Okay, To Kill a Mockingbird, I think I remember I studied it when I was here. Lord of the Rings, how did you... That's such a big book. How long did it take you to read it all? Like one night?
Like a week.
A week. That's pretty quick. Well
3
done.
books in one. That's amazing
That is
to read that in a week.
phenomenal.
Wow.
I also love learning languages. Hands up if you're learning a language. All of you should put your hands up because I know you all. I know it's I was literally here. You're all learning a language. What languages are we learning? What are you learning?
German, Spanish, French, and Latin.
And of those four, what's your favourite?
Spanish and German and Latin.
Nice. So it's just, wait, which one is the one that you missed?
French, I think.
French. Ooh, sorry, French. Anyone here like French? Yes? Okay, good. We had some nods. Good. We have some people writing French. C'est bon. Right, languages I'm currently learning. Does anyone know what this language here is?
Dutch.
Yeah, perfect. Learning Dutch. This one.
Sign language.
Sign language, yes. Which sign language?
BSL.
BSL. Well done, yes, BSL that I'm learning. Both of these really cool languages. Highly recommend checking them out if you haven't already. I was also a teacher for 2 years, and I'm dyslexic. And as was already mentioned, I was a former student here myself. These are some books I loved growing up. So we have How to Train Your Dragon. Don't we read Warrior Cats? No? Yes? If you're in the know, you know. It's an amazing series. It's about these different clans of cats at war with each other. It's a bit brutal. Lots of fun.
It was like the year 5 book of the year, for year 5.
As it should be. As it should be. It should be every year's book of the year, in my opinion. Fantastic. I also love Finding the Fox. And all of these books that I enjoyed growing up really definitely went into when I was writing my book, Ice Apprentices, in terms of the politics of it, the danger of it, all of that went in. But the main thing when I went to write Ice Apprentices is I wanted something to anchor the whole story on, and something that I really like myself, and I love anything to do with winter. Do you guys like winter?
No.
Yes, no?
It depends.
I like it when it's like proper winter.
Proper
like
winter it has to
snows,
be.
And it's nice. But I don't like UK winter because it's just cold and rainy.
You make a really, really good point, and that's exactly the vibe I'm going for here, is the nice proper winter with
The
snow.
proper winter.
Scandinavian winter.
Yeah, we get the northern lights and everything.
Scandinavians are lucky to have that nice of a winter.
Though to
I
be
know,
fair,
we're just like sleet and wet.
We've got like I wouldn't mind it if it snowed, but like when it's raining and then all of a sudden I get like a bit of sleet on my head. Why?
it's
Like,
not,
what's the point?
not proper winter. To be fair, in some places in Scandinavia, they just have darkness for like
This is true.
Does
weeks.
that mean I don't have to go to school and I just
No,
sleep?
sorry.
Nice try.
You're not a hedgehog.
The other things that went in were still sticking to that winter theme. We've got cabins, log fires, all of this. This is what I wanted the world to This is what I wanted the world to feel like, and everything else about the story started from this and built out from it. What is it like to be in this world that is freezingly cold? What would the culture be like? How would they survive? What would the magic be like? Getting on to... Oh yeah, sorry. So this is the map we ended up with. So this is Tundra itself. It's the only settlement in a world which is just completely frozen over. You have the Endless Expanse, which is just flat, endless ice. That surrounds about 2/3 of Tundra. You've got the Teeth that Snatch here. We'll get into those later. The magic. So we've got a cold world. It's really inhospitable. The other thing I really wanted to be in this story is magic. I love magic in stories. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the magic, and then we're going to put you into a scenario and see if you can survive. Because the magic in this world is not super straightforward, and it's also not that helpful. It can be really, really problematic and very dangerous. So I'm going to tell you some rules. You can use up to 3 words to get the magic to do something for you. No more. 3 words or less. That's it. The fewer words you use, the riskier that spell is, the more likely it is that it's going to go really wrong and something bad is going to happen. And the magic may misunderstand your words, or if it's feeling mean, it might twist your words deliberately to make something bad happen. With that in mind... Oh, sorry, I'll give you an example. So your cart loses control. So to slow it, you cast the spell, the cart breaks. And it does break your arm when it crashes. It ignores spelling. So you have to be careful with the way you word things. You are now locked in a burning cabin. The front door is locked and you don't have the key. But what you do have is your spell book. And there are 4 spells already written into it. You don't have the means to write any more. So this is your lot. We have... Oh, only one of these is going to get you out alive. So you've got 4 options. Only one is going to save you. The rest, you're going to be dead. We have Popcorn Appears. The fire goes away. The door opens and open. With someone next to you, I'm going to give you some time to discuss now which one you think you should cast. Go, discuss.
What, is the house on fire?
Cabin is on fire. You're locked inside.
No, the door opens because if you say the fire goes away, it could like spread away.
I said popcorn appears, which
that's 4 words as well.
You can only say 3 words, right?
But if the fire goes away,
It could mean like spread away, not actually going away.
yeah. But if you say the door opens, you're in a wooden cabin and you just
You guys
allow
theorising
all
Yeah,
of
wait,
them
wait.
to go
No,
inside.
but then if the door opens, you can get out of the door.
A lot
Yeah,
of
but
people
when
go
your
for
beam
popcorn.
falls,
A lot of people
As
go
a
for
rule.
popcorn. It's the most popular one. Oh, well, no. Usually it's
If the door will open, the fire will just No, you can't do open or popcorn appears because it's too less. So it's probably door open the answer. The fire goes away is 4 words.
popcorn appears because like
Okay, finish up your conversations. We're going to do a vote.
you die happy.
Right, hands up if you're going for Popcorn Appears. Couple hands, Popcorn Appears.
It depends if it's sweet or salty.
If you're going to die,
That's about 4 of you.
Die in
if you're going to die in the fire, I'd rather eat popcorn while I'm
All right, I see the logic. What about the fire goes away? Any hands for this one? What about the door opens? Couple hands for this one. And what about open? Some brave hands for this one. Right, let's find out what happens.
We decided the fire goes away.
You're doing the fire goes away.
Yeah.
Okay, so popcorn appears. It's delicious. You are still about to burn alive, which maybe should have been the priority, but I guess you can't think on an empty stomach, so, that might help. The fire goes away. Nothing happens. Spells can't have more than 3 words. And the fire goes away has 4. So unfortunately, the spell fails and the fire approaches.
Okay, we're
We're
dead.
doomed.
The door opens. Congratulations. The door unlocks. You make it out safely. Well done. For those of you who went for open, the door doesn't open. Your ribcage does.
Oh.
You're dead. Well done to those of you who went for this one. You're alive. Everyone else unlucky. This was a practice round though, so doesn't matter that much. We'll get into the real one in a second, because you are now a tundran. You live in Tundra, in this very frozen, cold settlement. You are going to go to Corridor, and this is the training grounds. This is where apprentices are taught how to survive, how to use magic, all sorts of things. You're going to become an Ice Apprentice, and after training, you'll be assigned a role to help Tundra survive. You could be a Scouter. Now, they search the endless expanse for resources. They earn lots of tokens, but it's very cold, and there are monsters on the endless expanse that you have to deal with. So it's high risk, but high reward. You could become a greenhouse worker. They grow the food that the Tundrans rely on, so it's a very important job. The greenhouses are probably the warmest place in all of Tundra, potentially the whole world. And the only issue is there are frosties, which are little insects, and anytime you disturb the soil to do your work, they're going to buzz out and bite you. It's a bit painful. You do get to wear these nets to try and keep them away, but there's often holes in the net, more than there's meant to be, and they get in. So, it's safe, warm, annoying insects. You have masters. If you become a master, you get to teach the next generation of Ice Apprentices in magic, expeditions, surviving beasts, all of it. You will always have a home and food. It's guaranteed as part of your job, because you'll be in Corridor. There's a place where the teachers live there. But there are lots and lots of spies at Corridor, so you never know who you can trust. On the other hand, becoming a spy could be really, really lucrative. Who knows? You could become the High Watcher. They control Tundra. They're the person in charge who makes all the big, important decisions. You get a fancy lodge and lots of tokens. However, whenever anything goes wrong, you are the person who's going to be blamed. And there's lots of people who will kill to get your job. You could become role-less. Now, without a role, without tokens to pay for food or a cabin, it's going to be really difficult to survive, and you might succumb to the cold. Not ideal. So let's go through the options. You could either be a Scouter. You work the endless expanse here, go on expeditions with your team, try and find resources, fight monsters. You could be a greenhouse worker working in the greenhouses, growing food. You also get to learn a bit about poisons and things like that, which is cool. You could become a master, training the future generation. You could become the High Watcher in control of everything, or you could become rollers, and then you can go wherever you want, really, because you're not tied down by a role. Discuss, what do you want to end up being with each other?
You got a lot of masters straight away there.
Well, you guys essentially are already, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly.
You've got the skill set.
We are melding young minds.
A master or a greenhouse.
Master of greenhouse worker? Why? What are you weighing here?
Because you get paid, and then you can use all your money to defend yourself and help the people.
Yeah,
Because then you can pay the people to protect you, and then you can basically execute anybody who tries to go against you.
But as a master, the other masters earn the same amount of tokens, and if they're a spy...
The king thinks it.
Oh, High Watcher.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you're High Watcher.
Everybody else is right.
You're very in character. So okay, you earn all the tokens, and then you can just deal with whoever, anyone who speaks out against you or disobeys, off with their heads.
Is that what you had to do?
I feel like there's a word for that type of ruling.
Survival is always the
Because
first
survival,
thing.
but I have to do something to gain my survival. Why me?
Like I would just go down and
So, like-
then the master they get enough
Okay.
food and it's just spies that bother them, but because there's probably like other people around like not just the master, then it's not only like them in danger, there's other people as well.
What about? Yeah.
Strategic is only one. It's a tyrant.
Tyrant. There you go. All right, finishing your conversations. We'll do a quick vote. Hands up if you want to be a Scouter. No one's going to be Scouter.
They're so lazy.
Wow.
Too much like hard
Can't
work.
believe this.
I'm between Scouter and Greenhouse person.
You're between the two. Okay, hands up for Greenhouse Worker. Yeah, we've got some hands for that. Hands up for Master. Hands up for High Watcher. And hands up for Rollless. Yes, we got some for Rollless. Fantastic.
I have a plan. I ask the magic eyes, give me tokens. They give me tokens. I buy a cabin. I do nothing. No one bothers me.
It's genius.
And I have food.
It's genius. Where'd the food come from? Hold on. Where'd that
I
kind
buy
of...
them using the tokens.
Yeah,
That
the ice
I
gives
Got it
you.
all figured out.
Brilliant. This is... Why has no one else thought of this, honestly? Okay, your first day at Corridor has arrived. Your choices are going to decide what happens. You need to remember 2 rules. The first one is to develop skills for a role. So every choice you make is either going to earn you or lose you skill points. The other one is to not go into the teeth that snatch. That's these things. If you go into the teeth that snatch, you don't come back. There's no one at all in Tundran history who's ever gone into those and returned. There's no magic, no expeditions. You're straight away just going into that.
Well,
You're
some
in there.
people's going there.
Well, the thing is, once you go in there, once you go beyond the teeth that snatch are a forest of stalagmites and stalactites.
Do they
And once
eat
you go up, we don't know. All we know is that when people go in there and they're out of sight, that's it. You just don't see them again. There's nothing that brings
Or
them
if you
back.
had multiple people.
Yeah, they've tried it. They've sent in expeditions. They even once sent in people with ropes tied around their waist, thinking we can just pull them back when they're out of view, right? But what happened is the second they were out of view, the rope just dropped to the ground and they pull it back and it was empty at the other end.
Nice allusion to touching the void, Jacob.
It's a little bit of Eldritch Horror in there for you. Right, your first decision. A potion is about to explode in the alchemy lodge after you add the wrong ingredient. You've got 4 options. Do you throw it out of the window? Do you add random ingredients hoping to calm the mixture? Do you call for help while backing away? Or do you check the recipe for what you should do? Discuss. What do you think you should do?
Call
Throw
for
the
help.
potion out of the window.
Call for help while backing away.
I don't know.
That's what I do in reflex. Throw the potion out the window.
By the way,
Urgent apprentices.
does this end at 4 to
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Then I also throw it
5?
Probably like 5 if you want to. I mean, I don't know if you want to leave time for some questions or anything. Yeah.
I can make it either 4 to 5 or 5. I'm just.
But then also, I think check
We'll just keep going.
Maybe let's say 10 to 5. 10 to 5. Yeah.
Yeah, but then if it explodes, you have time for the person to cut them.
All right, let's do some voting. Hands up for throwing the potion out the window. Who's hurling out the window?
Yeah, but then it lands on somebody
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Lands
If
on
I
somebody?
had time, I'd check the recipe, but otherwise, like,
It's going out.
It's about to explode.
Hand-
That's imminent.
Hands up for add random ingredients, hoping to calm the mixture.
Any
Yeah, I'll go
panickers
for that
in the
one.
room?
That works in science, doesn't it?
Hands up for call for help or backing away. Some hands for this one. Hands up for check the recipe for what you should do.
No
I have
stress.
no time for that.
No
Gonna
stress.
blow up? All right. Remember what you picked.
Kitchen's on fire, but you're
This
checking
is the results. Can people read or is it too small?
Yes, got 1 skill point, yeah.
See how many skill points you got. In fact, show me. So if you got 1, 2, 0, or minus.
how can you get 2?
0.
0. Anyone got minus? I think I got minus. I've got minus. Cool. All right, we'll go on to the next one. 3 Ice Apprentices are sneaking into the teeth that snatch. And they're certain this expedition is going to make them the most revered, the strongest hundreds in all of history. And so naturally, they're going to invite you along to join them. You have 4 options. Are you going to warn them not to go, and you're going to tell a master you're not going to risk apprentices going missing? Are you going to ignore them and go back to bed because you're really, really tired? Are you going with them, the glory is going to be worth it? Or are you going to warn them not to go, but you're not going to tell a master? Discuss. What are you going to do?
It's only one. Yeah, surely.
Because then they'll call you
My
a
humble
snitch,
opinion.
and then they'll
Back
call
to
you
bed,
a
like, you're
potion. They'll call you a snitch, you're potion, and you could explode the next
Go
day.
back to bed, Frida.
I'll take the potion from the
I'll
alchemy
do
lodge
the
back
like-
and I'll put like under your pillow.
If they want
What?
to yellow or it will
Because then you tried to stop them. So you have a
not
valid
agree.
excuse.
To, like, become...
You clean your hands of the guilt.
Again, it depends
Yeah,
on
I
your
told them
outlook,
not to go.
depends on your values,
Not my
isn't
fault.
it? And if your values are all about getting to the top.
Wait, are these 3 Ice Apprentices my friends? Like, good friends? Or do I, like, they're just their people?
Or if they're people I
But
don't
then
like,
if you
can't
don't
send
tell
them in there.
anyone, do you
We'll
have
say
to,
that
like,
you're neutral to them. You're not close friends with them,
Okay, one not to go,
but you don't hate them. They're nice enough.
They're in the same year
No,
as
because,
you.
like, if you don't tell anyone and they go in and they
Take a note,
don't
everyone.
come back out, then, like, it's all your fault that happened.
You'll have the
Tell
terrible
them not
burden
to
of
go. And then don't
Yeah,
tell
but
them
tell
all.
them and go back to bed.
All right.
I don't want to leave.
Well, let's do a quick vote then. Who is warning them and telling a master? Clap your hands for this one. Who is ignoring them and going back to bed? Who's going with them for the glory? No one? No one's going for the glory?
Doesn't
No?
like it.
No one's tempted?
No.
Okay. Who's warning them but not telling a master? One hand for
They're
this.
gonna call you a snitch and put an explosive under your pillow. Then you
I didn't say that.
Let's find out the results. So, do you now have 1 point, 2 point, 3 points, 0 points, minus? What are people thinking like?
It's okay.
3.
0,
I'm
3.
two.
It's 1-0 Frida.
All right.
Okay.
Last scenario.
No,
Learn
wait,
from this,
like
Sid,
added
Frida.
them up.
Learn from this.
You add them up.
Oh, so
Yeah.
then I've got 1.
You got 1. In your final year of training, you spot a master passing information to a hooded figure in Shemir Woods. This is a spy. Do you tell them they shouldn't be doing that? You walk on over and say, hey, stop that, not cool.
Explode you.
Do you tell the Grand Master, that's the head teacher, what you saw? Do you cast the information burns away? Or do you offer to become a spy as well, threatening to reveal that they're spies otherwise.
The yellow
Discuss. What are you going to
I
do?
want to do puzzles, but I'll do
The information.
That's a difficult
That's
one.
4 letters. It's not
Wow.
gonna work.
No,
I can have a spy lifestyle, yeah.
A spy lifestyle?
Then she can go up and play.
Oh, but
That person.
do the right thing though.
You
Yeah,
can
it
go up
won't work.
and
I have a moral compass. I like to think I've got a moral compass. You know?
You've got a moral compass, but it's just pointing the wrong way.
Yeah. It's definitely wayward.
I'm gonna say 4.
Yeah.
Then they'll kill you.
I'm hearing a lot of approval of the spy option.
No, I want to do spy, but I'll do it.
I think I'll do
Because
that.
then you can like I'll get more points anyway.
Because then you get rewarded for it, for turning somebody else in. You saved somebody.
So you want the reward money? So you'd be like, okay, Grandmaster, I've got some really important safe information.
But you have to pay me for it.
But yeah, we're gonna need some tokens first.
What the TV show traitors?
Yeah, why is he gonna listen to
They
you?
figure out the other person's a spy. They're gonna say, "Oh, they're a spy
Photographic
too."
Yeah, double crossing. Yeah.
But then if you say like to the Grandmaster, then I don't think that's gonna be anything bad. Or tell them they shouldn't be doing that. They could get angry at you.
And then
And
explain
then-
it.
Yeah, they could
Like-
do something to you.
Well, let's do a vote and let's see what happens. Hands up if you're gonna tell them they shouldn't be doing that. Okay. I'll do that one. Then. I'll do that one. Tell the Grandmaster what you saw. Lots of hands for this one. Hands up for cast the information burns away. No takers?
What information's going to burn away
The information they're handing.
Yeah, but it's 4 letters. It's 4 letters.
What,
No,
4
words.
letters?
4 words.
4 letters? I'm seeing way more letters than 4.
Information
Um,
burns away.
Offered to become a spy as well. Hands up for that one.
I want
Slay. All right, let's find out. This is what happens. What skill points do you have?
GCHQ tomorrow.
Aha.
Ooh, 0.
I have
In
5.
total, all added
Grand
together, what do you have?
Master,
go,
let's go for
5, 0
2.
minus. You got
2,
2.
I didn't do so good.
You
Yeah.
got 2. You got 5. You got
It doesn't
4,
matter because
2,
I still have my backup plan.
All right, let's
wow,
go
this
through the results then. If you have 0 skill points, you are rollless.
But that's what I wanted to be.
Too late now, you did too well.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Can I donate?
Do you want to donate? Okay, does anyone want a skill point?
Frida gives them to me, I know.
I have 5.
I'm going to say you can only give a skill point to someone who has 4 or less.
Who has 4 or less?
Right, okay, so
Donation.
Okay, so you are now rollless. You face the hunger and the cold, but you aren't the only rollless. Maybe together you can survive and make Tundra less cruel. No? No? You like the cruelty?
That's what you wanted.
I want to be alone.
If you have 1 to 4 skill points, of your choice, you can become a scouter, greenhouse worker, or master.
I
You
got
pick.
5 then. That means I
I
can
Well, if you have 5, you can choose this if you want.
No,
but you
I
have
want
more
to go and
options.
execute.
You want to execute everyone. You can become the High Watcher if you have
that's
5
me.
skill
Yay.
points. You did so well, they had to put you in charge. Hands up if you became a spy for me. Some spies here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, in your journey, in your version of Tundra, if you became a spy, you also become the High Watcher by scheming and stabbing backs and betraying people. But there's a slight catch. Because you burnt a lot of bridges to essentially evil your way into being High Watcher, you have a lot of enemies. A lot of people have it in for you. You will always be looking over your shoulder. But you're High Watcher. Yay, well done. If you went into the teeth, no one went into the teeth. Oh, question?
Can I like be a spy and like not become a High Watcher?
Yeah, you could be a spy and then become any of the other things, and then just continue like spying along.
You're a spy because he chose it.
Just a spy.
Can I be a
So you-
spy and do nothing
you're
bad,
rollless.
just be a menace?
No,
So-
he chose the spy one. No,
So okay, we've got a spy who spreads false rumors, and then we've got a spy who. So you're just like sneaking around spying on people, but you don't have a job that you like have weaseled your way into. The unemployed spy. The unemployed spy. I love this. You are one of a kind in Tundra. So who are you spying for then? If you're unemployed,
Herself.
just yourself.
Herself.
Yeah. Have you got like a scrapbook and you just want to like put secrets in it? And even you have your cup of tea and you're just like, oh, this was so much fun. I know everyone's dirty laundry. This is brilliant. Yeah? Okay. Cool, that's you. Right, so that was your journey through Corridor. Ice Apprentices is, unfortunately, not about you guys, as fabulous as you are. I know, I'm sorry. It's about other characters who we're going to take a quick look at. We've got Oswin here. Now, he is the sort to remind a teacher when they forgot to set homework. We've got Anastasia. She is very, very annoyed that Oswin reminded the teacher about homework, but she's not going to do it either way, so it really doesn't make that much of a difference to her. We've got Maury here. Now, he was going to do the homework no matter what, because he looked ahead and he knew what his was. He also loves inventing, so he's going to add an extra contraption into his homework. Unfortunately for the teacher, a lot of his inventions are quite explosive, so that might not go so well. Here we have Philomena and Gale. Now, Gale didn't hear what the homework was, and he is way too shy, and he's he's not going to be asking for a repetition. Thankfully, Philomena knows what he is like, and she has already written it down for him. We have Kathy here, and she hates Oswin. Absolutely despises him, especially now that he's reminded the teacher about the homework. Did you say that to me?
Is it a haters to lovers thing? Or no?
It's like a haters fist to face kind of thing. But I mean, it's a trilogy, so. But yeah, no, she hates Oswin, and she wants to make his life a nightmare. But this is Oswin's adoptive older brother, Xylo, and so long as he is around, she's not going to be able to do that. There is one crucial difference between Oswin and the other characters, and that is Oswin is a stray. So you know how I said you guys were all Tundrans? You're going to Corridor to become Ice Apprentices. Tundrans means you were born in Tundra to Tundran parents. Oswin was found on the ice.
Oh.
No one knows where his parents are. He was brought into the settlement, and he is therefore a stray. And because of that, he's treated very differently. He's seen as a waste of resources. The extra log on the cart, that slows it down, means it can't move. So he is treated not very nicely as a result of that compared to how everyone else is treated. Because of this, he's desperate to prove his worth. Endless expanse. So he was found, you remember that ice I mentioned? The endless stretching ice? This is where he was found, somewhere on here.
So does that mean there's more life beyond it?
So there is what are called strays. They do know there are people living out here who aren't part of Tundra. Frankly, they don't know how they manage it. It's a really inhospitable place to live. It's very, very rare that they come across strays because there's certain magic defences which make Tundra really hard to find, and when they do, they tell them to be on their way. Oswin was an exception, and Oswin doesn't know why, and part of his journey is trying to figure out why. But they're very rare. It's very, very rare to find anyone outside of Tundra alive because it's so cold and there's so little food. Now, Oswin originally thought he wouldn't get to go to the training grounds like you guys did, because he's a stray, and his adoptive mother, Lullia, said he couldn't. But the Grandmaster herself invited him, so yeah, he gets to go. Because he's so desperate to prove himself, when monsters begin attacking, he's going to go and do really reckless things and put his life on the line to try and figure out why and stop it, because, again, he wants to show, yeah, I belong here, I'm useful, I can be useful. But the question is, what monster is he going to face? We're going to make a monster now. So we've got 4 options for the body of this monster. Discuss which you think we should choose. Bear?
It can walk.
I think everyone will say bear, yeah.
Everyone say bear?
Yeah, because you can walk on 2 and 4 legs.
2 and 4 legs. Can bears walk on 2 legs very well?
Yes.
Could they go on a 10k hike on 2 legs? I don't think.
No.
But they could for a bit.
Rear up, don't
They could try.
Right.
Why are we
hands-
putting bears down? They're so cute.
It's not.
Yeah, they're killers.
It's the body of the bear, not the head. Is it?
Oh.
Do you remember this
Yeah,
morning?
just the
They're at
body.
the top of the food chain, aren't they?
They are.
Hmm.
Especially grizzly bears, those are very large.
They're even cuter.
They are
Never
very
grizzly bear, Teddy.
hands up for hawk. Yeah, hands up for bear. Hands up for frog.
Oh,
Ooh, can I see bear again? Okay, and then frog. And then crocodile. Frog's got it! That's a first, by the way. I have gone to lots of different schools. This is the first time frog is one. I'm very happy about that. What head is it going to have? Hands up for... Actually, I'll let you look at the options. We all know what hourglass is, right? No? So you know it's like the sand timers where you turn... That's an hourglass. Hands up for head of a lion. Yeah? Hands up for head of a fireplace.
Yes.
Ooh, quite a few for this one. Hands up for hourglass, head of an hourglass. And hands up for shark. Okay, I think it's tied between lion and fireplace. So if you voted for hourglass or shark, that's gone. And you need to now pick lion or fireplace. Hands up for lion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hands up for fireplace. Oh wait, your hand's down, isn't it? So, okay, it's lion, I believe, that wins. So we've got body of a frog, head of a lion. What is its power? Can it make its prey attack each other? Can it camouflage as an object? Can it cough up exploding ooze? Or can it perfectly imitate voices? I'll let you guys discuss this one for a little bit. Which one do you think should have?
A lot of good stuff there.
No, cough up.
Getting prey to attack each other.
Wait, is that exploding ooze warm?
What's ooze? I did not eat it.
Yeah, I
Yes.
suppose with the body of a frog.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's not going
could
to be
it
one that's
melt
going to be
some
around
of
brute
the
power.
ice in the tundra?
So yeah, I think that's...
Yes, maybe
either
about
or
that
the
much ice.
voices, one
Of like the whole world of ice? Yes. So you think you collect enough of
Exploding
it,
ooze will do.
you can cover the whole world in exposing ooze?
And that's the end of it.
And then it might slip down the
This
cliff.
monster can be useful. This
Could be
monster
useful?
can be useful to me.
So if you had a choice between a world covered in snow and a world covered in exploding ooze, you would choose the world covered in exploding ooze. Just to be clear.
Yeah.
Okay? Okay. Alright, let's do some voting. Hands up for make its prey attack each other. This is mind control here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hands up for camouflage. Hands up for cough up exploding ooze. Clearly a fan. Hands up for perfectly imitate voices. I think can I see make its prey attack each other? I think that one's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that one's 1. Awesome, first one. So we have an animal who has the head of a lion, the body of a frog, and it can control the minds of its enemies to make them attack each other. Now the question is, what are we going to call this monster? I'm going to give you some examples of how I name monsters, and then see what you guys can come up with. So this is one of the monsters Oswin has to face. It's half frog, half orca. So I took, because I like my languages, I took the Dutch word for frog, which is kikker, and I took the English word for orca, which is, surprising no one, orca, and I put them together to get kikorka. Fun fact, they're named after the way they sound, which is kikork. Can you make that noise? Perfect, you're kikorkas. So that's how I named one of them. Another one here, we have a cute little half dog, half bird. Now I use 2 Dutch words for this. We have the Dutch word for bird, which is vogel, and then we have the Dutch word for dog, which is hond. And put them together, I anglicised it a little bit, so hond. Yeah.
Vogel in German is also bad.
Yeah, they're really similar, the 2 languages. I think English, German, and Dutch are like, if you know English and German, Dutch makes a lot of sense. If you know Dutch and German, English can make a lot, etc.
They're all coming from Old Frisian.
Oh yeah, so they grow out of the So they're quite similar. And then we've got the wall of ice, which surrounds 2/3 of Tumra, which leads up to the endless expanse. That ice that goes on forever. We combined 2 English words, wall and ice, to get Weiss. So the question is, we've got head of a lion, body of a frog, and mind control. How do we make a name from this? If you know any languages besides English, especially if you know the word for frog or lion or mind control in that language, feel free to bring that into the name, but you don't have to, it's up to you. I'm going to give you some time to brainstorm, and then we're going to vote.
Frog in Spanish is Vendura.
Vendura.
I don't think that's how you pronounce it, but it's spelled like
Leo in Latin.
we could do Leo.
Yeah, Leo.
We could do Leo. Leo.
Oh man, it sounds quite
Frog in Spanish again.
Vendura.
very French.
But that's not French.
Lion and Dutch is
I know that's your language.
Lion and Dutch is Leu.
Leo.
Quite similar to, what was it you were saying?
Oh, we're just saying Leo.
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 We got it.
And frog grenouille in French.
You can buy some of this. Alright, do we have some ideas?
Yes.
Okay, let's take some ideas. Hans, have you got one?
We think, like this group
Yeah.
thinks Leodura is a really good idea.
Leodura.
Because Leo is lion for Latin.
And Vendura, well, I don't think that's how you say it, but that's how it's spelled, is like Spanish for frog.
Nice. So what, Leodura.
Leo.
Am I saying that right, Leodura?
That's good. Yeah.
Cool. Any other ideas we've got? No? No, we're keeping the ideas secret. I feel like there are ideas. I feel like we are being deprived of these ideas. But
Yeah.
that's your prerogative. This can be accepted.
Leoduro, because it's like an art and it like
Leoduro.
you in with the mind.
Oh yeah.
Leoduro, like
I think I like that one.
So we're
It
doing.
sounds French, little.
Did you have an idea?
No.
Sorry, which one are you guys going with then? Which one?
Both.
But both. Okay, so what was the we
They're
had
twins.
Leodura.
That's two. Leodura and what's the
Little.
Leodura.
Leodura. Leodura
They're
and
twins.
Leodura. Okay.
They're
Cool.
definitely twins.
The final thing we're going to do is we're going to give you a survival task. So this is another monster that Oswin has to face. This is the Meersnoth.
It looks like a spider, a dead thing, and a dead like moose and
It looks like a
squid.
moose.
That's a good
It's a
explanation.
moose, an octopus, and daddy long legs.
Yes.
That's a lot of legs. If it is.
Do you just like
No,
how
it looks like it looks like a
That makes
stag.
It's a, well, the
It
way it's
doesn't
described in
have
the
eyes.
book is it's got a human's jaw. It's got the top skull part of like a moose or a deer. It's got the tentacles, and then it's got ant legs. But honestly, the way you guys all described it sounded sick too, so go with that. It can't see you, but it can hear you. It breathes mold and disease, so you don't want to get close to that. And it's very fast. Now, depending on what job you have, you might have a spell book. If you're a master, you're really good at magic. If you're a greenhouse worker, you might have some poisons. If you're a scouter, you've got lots of allies because you've got a squad that you work with. If you're a high watch, you've got lots of tokens.
Slice his legs off.
The question is, how are you going to survive it? Discuss with each other, and then we'll hear 1 or 2 survival plans, and we'll
Slice
vote.
his legs off.
So green has poisons. Poisons went off
Throw
here.
a knife and chop all its legs off. Like,
Yeah,
I think
poison.
no, like no,
Silly
like
bang.
a moth.
Silly bang.
Silly bang it out of existence.
Silly bang.
And the day is gone. Yeah.
Are
Are we on the ice where we can cast the spell?
We'll say you're in corridor, which
Throw
has a
a
snowy,
nuclear bomb.
flat floor.
So I
Because it's all
can't
the time.
spell on it. I
Like-
thought it was warm in the corridor.
It's warmer, but it's still very snowy. It's still very cold. But it's like if you're on the endless expanse, it's cold.
Can I spell on it?
If it can't see
You can cast a spell. You've got a spell book, and you're going to have to maybe write. And look, it can't see you, but it can hear you. So it might hear
how small are they?
as you're writing, and then
Wait, how
Okay.
quick would
I don't
it
think
be
it's small,
after I
is
say?
it?
Because if I said kill it,
Because if it's like
It could kill you.
that's a 2-word spell.
Nano.
And if you'll remember, the smaller the riskier when it comes to the amount of words. You could do that.
kill the monster.
Kill the monster. That's a bit. That's
But
more
then again-
specific.
can
yeah?
it kill you? Can it kill you? Or can it just like injure you?
Let's say it's trying to kill you, and yes, it can. Oh, context. This is about twice the height of this room. That's important
That changes
context. I should
things a
leave with that. It's twice the height of this room.
Okay, chop all its legs off and then stab it through the head.
Brilliant. With the legs,
Oh no!
or with what with an axe?
With like throwing axes and then get like a giant spear thing and just like.
No, but if you chop off the legs, will the head survive?
Well then throw
We'll
a
find
spear
out, I
through
guess.
its head and then
Let's get some ideas.
It breeds more. So if you chop off the legs, the head
Ah,
comes to
you
you.
keep
it
going.
breeds
Yeah,
them
yeah.
off. But if you chop
put
off,
a face mask on it.
No, guys, you should wear a mask, or else you might get.
You got a question?
Right.
Iris?
Let's take some ideas.
they're really
Yes.
hot.
I just cast a spell on it that goes Mirsnoff dies.
Mirsnoff dies. Okay, so that's a 2-word spell, but it is quite nice and specific. Mirsnoff dies. So the spell can't twist that to mean that you die,
But
because you're not
what
a
if there's
Mirsnoff.
someone in the village called Mirsnoff?
I don't think.
There's.
Why
That's a
did
good
they
point.
name
I
someone?
can tell you for free now.
With the
There's not
surname.
someone called. There's not someone who has the first word of surname
Monster
Mirsnoff. Okay, what did you end up being in your corridor adventure? Did you end up being a master? Cool. Masters are better at magic than the average person because they use it more in their teaching. So I think there's a really good chance that you could cast that 2-word spell and it goes successfully. But we're now going to vote. So now I've given you guys, we've got a master good at spell casting. We've got a well-worded spell that's 2 words, which means it's more powerful but riskier. And the spell was again Mirsnoff dies. Mirsnoff dies. Hands up if we think this is not going to work and we don't think this survival plan is solid. Few hands. Hands up if we think this is going to work and we think
You just need to
it's
add one word.
survivable.
The Mirsnoff dies.
Or this
Because this Mirsnoff dies.
So that is like 3.
Because it's like
Or you
this
could say
one
all.
in
Potentially,
front of you.
but there's something I didn't tell you, which is mainly just because it takes time in the PowerPoint. The fewer words you use, the stronger the spell is.
Oh, I thought
It's more riskier, but it's technically, if it goes well, can be stronger. So it's kind of risk reward. 1-word spells are the strongest, but almost always go wrong. Okay, and hands up, sorry, for we think this will work, which I personally think will work. Okay, I think it looks like you have been voted to survive. Congratulations. Let's have one more idea for a survival plan. Anyone else got a survival plan? Yes, at the back.
Give it gossip every time for it leaving me alone.
Give it gossip. Okay, so hold on. You get out your dirty laundry scrapbook. Not actual dirty laundry, to be clear. There's not like some old socks in here or anything. What dirty laundry are you giving it? What gossip?
Oh, that the girl actually likes the girl
Something about the
actually
high
likes
watch
the
or-
stray. That secretly inside you stole her
The-
diary and she actually likes the guy she was with.
So you've got Kathy's diary.
Yeah.
So you're going to read the monsters. You're going to read the monster Kathy's diary.
You're going to read it to death.
Yeah, the monster, for context, the monster does not speak Tundran, which is the language of Tundra.
Speak Mirsnoff to it.
But maybe it will vibe the content.
I'll use pictures.
Pictures. So you've got like a kind of Pictionary thing
But
going
it
on.
can't
It
see.
can't- All right, votes if we think, yes, this is going to work, we're going to survive. Let's get out the blackmail. Hands up if we think it's a bit shaky. I
But
think
you
the
could
monster's going to kill
blackmail the
us.
people to kill it with their secret.
Double
What, you
hands
go
up
to
enemy,
Kathy, you say,
sorry.
Kathy, you kill this monster for me, or I'm telling us that you like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That would work.
You have been voted to death, I'm afraid. The council has decided that the Mirsnoff is going to eat you. I'm very sorry for
does
your
it
loss
eat?
of life.
How
Or
does it eat
maybe,
you?
maybe the
I thought
legs.
it just gives you diseases.
Oh yeah, maybe,
How-
you know what,
how
we'll go
does
with
it
that.
eat
You
you?
die from, it's a
Die
magical
from
disease.
some terrible disease. Yeah.
Oh, I'd rather
Courtesy of, I'm
get
afraid I
killed
don't
by
know, but
a
courtesy
from
of this student's idea here.
Yeah, but the others
Um,
can get.
We unfortunately don't have time to this survival exercise, but I'll tell you what it is if you want to do it in your own time, which is could you survive the monster we created, and how would you do that? So it's the size of a frog, but it has the head of a lion, but it means it can jump a lot, but it can control you and make you fight other people.
Yeah.
So
You could, like, hide
how
from
would you
you
try and survive
So
it?
like my intrusive thought.
Yeah, but like your intrusive thought is now a frog with the lion head, or maybe it already was. I don't want to presume. Who knows?
Can it make multiple? Oh wait, sorry.
Sorry, this is something I do in other things. I taught religious.
taught English.
English?
I can suss it out.
I did not teach English.
Geography then.
I did not teach geography.
History.
No.
What?
Science.
No.
A language.
Not language.
Religious
not
studies.
PhD.
Religious studies. So I think you potentially got to that answer by sheer volume of guesses.
Yeah.
I think you were running out of subjects on which to guess.
But we don't have
But well
religious
done.
studies.
I was
We
gonna
do.
What do you have?
Yeah, philosophy and religious studies.
Philosophy and
Yeah.
religious studies, yes.
That's what it stands for.
That's what it was in you, right? PRS?
No, we did RE.
RE.
We had PSHE as a separate thing.
Yeah, we still have that as well.
That is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for listening. If we have any questions... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, sorry. Can we
Everyone's-
take a round of applause? That was great, wasn't it? Yeah. But yes, any questions, Jacob?
Oh,
Anything?
guys, not all. Oh, my goodness. Yes.
Which is your favourite character that you've written about?
Anastasia. I mean, Osmond's like a close second. Okay, I know he's the main character. He should technically be my favourite, but it is Anastasia. She's so sarcastic, and I just love sarcasm. She has no time for anyone. It's great.
What's the favourite monster you have made?
Kikorka. I don't know, I just think it's kind of goofy, and I kind of love that about it. It's like the size of an actual orca, and it's not the size of a frog. And the way it swims, if I hold on, I can go back. It will do 2 swishes of the tail like an orca does, and then it will coast for a bit, and then it will do 2 frog kicks, and I just think that's goofy. I love
No,
it.
that's a bit like, Frank Kroll.
Yeah, like frog crawl. But like it's a frog.
Breaststroke, that's breaststroke.
Yes.
Like, this isn't really about the book, but it is a question for you. How is the school different from when you came there?
Here,
Yeah.
so you see like you have the,
Yeah,
what
it's
do you call them,
all
like murals
all
and
quotations,
things.
isn't it?
Yeah, none of that, we just had the walls.
And
This
photographs. We
is
did have the photographs.
had the photographs.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, like pictures and stuff.
Pictures.
Yeah, but not like the stuff like painted onto the wall
No,
itself.
we didn't have those.
This is very similar. I actually don't think for the library I can pick out anything that has changed. I vividly remember the reception desk and the way the lights kind of, you know what I mean? There's just a vibe there. You just remember it.
lights there.
I thought there was
How did you realise the lights there?
I didn't
Oh,
either. Like,
Oh my goodness, you guys need to pay more attention.
Starship Enterprise has been for a very long time.
The main difference, which is maybe just me being picky, but the sofas in the reception area are different. In my opinion, not as good. But the camera didn't hit it, doesn't matter. The sofas in the reception area are different. They used to be more comfortable. But anyway, yeah, that's how it's changed. Yeah.
Do you ever find like characters with annoying traits because you want them to be annoying? Do you ever find them annoying yourself? And then when you're like reading your work, you're like, oh, they're so annoying.
I don't personally find them annoying myself, and that's what I have my editor for. Because then she can tell me when a character's being, like, it's difficult to walk that line of, you want a character flaw, you want them to maybe be a little bit annoying, and obviously the reader knows they're annoying as they're reading it. You don't want it to go so far, or at least when I'm writing, I'm not aiming to go so far that the reader genuinely really does not like the main character. And so that's when my editor can be like, hey, that's like maybe one question too many, let's have this character not ask quite so many questions, or something like that. Which is one of the lovely parts of getting to work with an editor, is you get a fresh pair of eyes that sees things and perceives things in a way you don't, and can point things out, and then you can take that as like data and go and act on it. Yeah.
How long did it take you to write Ice Apprentices?
The first draft was maybe like a month or 2. I write quite quickly, but then the editing process is quite long. So that was about 5 years of editing. And then I wrote lots of different versions of that book. So the first version... It's not, well, no, it's not quite 5 years of editing. It's like...
So you started writing this book in lockdown?
In 2020, I would say. So I write the... Pardon?
When was
It was a good time to do things
This
like
came
that.
out this year on the 30th of January.
That's ages.
But the thing is, it wasn't... I did other things along this time as well. I wrote lots of different versions of this book. It's got the nice pretty animation, which I worked so hard on. The first draft took a month, do a bunch of editing. Half a year later, decide, I think I want to rewrite it. That takes another month to rewrite. Then we start editing that version. And you kind of keep doing that. And then at the same time, I'm thinking, oh, I've written the second one in the series. I've written the third one in the series. Oh, I've written a spin-off in like another place in the settlement. Oh, I've written something completely different just for the funsies. So you have lots of, or at least for me, because obviously everyone's different, I have a lot of different books on the go. I've got one which is the main focus, which I'm editing, rewriting, whatever. And I've got other stuff I'm doing just kind of for the funsies of it. Yeah.
If you could choose another subject but PRS to teach, which one would it be?
I want to say philosophy. That's cheating because I taught that at A level. If I was good enough at Dutch, I'd say Dutch because it's such a fun language. But I'm not good enough at Dutch to teach it. I really liked sports, so maybe physical education, particularly if I got to teach anything to do with like rugby or cricket or running. I'm really into my running, so it would be great to teach that. Any more questions? Yeah.
If you had to like write another book or like series or anything, what would like the title be? What do you think? Like, what would it be kind of related to?
I'm trying to think what I'm allowed to say, because I have other series behind this one, which I could then say the title of, but instead I'll pick one that I haven't come up with yet. If I could write like just a new one. I like the idea of writing about the mythology of England and all the different like historical monsters we have, or like things like May Day, like all the festivals we have, or Bonfire Night. And then I don't know, the title would maybe be to do with that.
Mythical history.
Albion.
Albion, yeah, you could always go for Albion. I mean, that makes no sense.
At first, he's writing a book about England monster thingamabobs.
And then we're gonna
There we go. That's the title.
England
Brilliant.
monster thingamabobs.
Brilliant.
Do you like reading books that aren't really the style, like the genre you write in?
Yes and no. I do mainly read... No, that's a lie. I exclusively read fantasy. I try and branch out. I really do. It's just not for me. Maybe I'll grow into it one day. And within fantasy, and I guess we can kind of put sci-fi and dystopia in there as well. I'll just sneak those in because Hunger Games and things like that. I have a mixture of middle grade, which is what my book is. I also like young adult, and I also like adult books as well. I think the longest ones I read would be like Brandon Sanderson, which are definitely targeted at like over 18. Like this is just targeting adults. I think young adult I read recently and loved was Hunger Games. I read that last year for the first time ever. Oh my God,
It's so good.
Yeah.
I read it last year.
I'm severely dyslexic, so when I was growing up, I really struggled to read. So I have a big backlog of these very, very good books, which I just could not read when I was like around your
when
guys'
Jacob
age,
was
and I'm
growing
catching
up,
up.
we didn't have Audible in the same way we do now. There were tapes and CDs, but they were, I mean, we had them here, but obviously it took a lot of time. It wasn't like Audible, you could stop it and then pick it up again the next night, things like that, which is so much easier.
Not anymore, though,
It can be
Ria.
difficult.
Not anymore now, Ria, do you?
What's your favourite genre to write in?
Fantasy. Yeah. Oh, except fantasy. I don't think I've written anything that isn't fantasy. The closest I got was I wrote this thing called Jam Jars when I was in sixth form here, and that is low fantasy, but still fantasy. Have written anything not fantasy? I've written something about magical. No, you know what? I've not written anything that's not fantasy, and I would struggle to. I'm trying to think what I would
you've
write.
done a comprehension or like a non-fiction piece in English.
Philosophy essays. Thank you so much. Yes, I love writing philosophy essays. My degree was philosophy. It's so much fun, right?
It's just so much fun. I
Just
don't
get to
know why.
argue.
It's because
It's like, this is their point, they're wrong.
Magical things. It's not like magical, but like it's things that's probably not going to happen. You know,
Well,
at least what we
it's what we think of now as speculative fiction. So a lot of science fiction, a lot of fantasy have devised things that actually have come into being as technology's improved.
Have you ever done a book debate?
A book debate?
Yes.
Okay, fill me in. What's this? Book debate.
I go to debating club for a week during the summer holidays, and it's basically where you get to argue over books, but politely. It's an arguing club.
As opposed to like dispolitely or
Yeah.
impolitely arguing over books.
Politely arguing over books.
Right, no, I've never been to one. Oh, I go to a book club, which I guess is technically that, except I make cake every time. And then we all get to eat cake. Do you have cake at the debate club?
No, but
We have biscuits. At least. If you want to make a cake for us, Frida, then...
Make a cake for us is brilliant.
We should make a cake.
We should
all
yes.
Okay, can we give Jacob another round of applause, please, folks? Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. Mrs. Brumble would like to say a little
Jacob,
something
I
to you.
just want to say thank you so much for coming. The best part of my job is welcoming alumni back to school, and so I'm having a great afternoon.
Oh, lovely.
Now this
Look,
is
a duck.
for your next book. When you're writing notes, it's in there with the pen. The duck will be inspirational for you, and it might even feature in a book.
Wow.
Subtle, Mrs. Brumble.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much. You must keep in touch, and we'll see you again.